Mm.
I drink to this and I drink to that. I drink to this too. I drink to this. I drink to everything. I drink to what I want to drink to. But the doctors and the technician told me that I only can have 32 ounces of fluid. I can do that in my sleep. I ain't on dialysis. I was visiting the center. I'm not on dialysis. Okay? I told them I'm not on dialysis and I don't like rules and regulations. But lo and behold, they rushed me to the hospital. I couldn't breathe. I had water detention. Man, they put a pipe, a tube down my throat. I was fighting them. It took about 10 or 15 of them to get that pipe down my throat. Oh, you know I got one of them. I can't say I got all 15, but I at least got one of them. I got one of them. I'm telling you, I did. I got one of them, you know, and that's all to it. But I'm telling you like this, if you don't want to be married to a pipe down your throat, you better watch your fluids. You need to get your fluids in check because this is live from Queens. This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lisa Baxter Show. That's right. You have tuned in on the Lisa Baxter Show. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to see you. And I say to you, happy Easter, happy resurrection Easter. I don't know about you, but today I went to church. I got my praise on. I had a fabulous, fabulous good time. And it was worth it. It was worth it. I went and I go to church every Sunday, but I went this time and I just had a wonderful time. I saw family, I saw friends, people I always see, and people I ain't seen in a long time. But I'm telling you right now, I am very glad to see you. I am very glad to see you. I apologize for the guest that I had. We had some technical difficulty, but maybe we'll have her on at another time. I was, hoping that she would pop up. We've been trying for a good while. So since she's not going to be on, we'll get her on a later time. But today you're going to have me talking to you, and it's going to be a good talk. So get what you need. I want you to get comfortable so I can talk to you about a few things and some resources as well. Okay? So, welcome to the Lisa Baxter Show once again. And today we're going to talk about resources. I don't know what kind of resources you have because a lot of times with dialysis, a lot of times people don't have family. They don't have friends, or they have friends, but sometimes when you're sick, your friends get a little scared about what you're dealing with, and they don't come around as much, or they don't know how to deal with you like they used to before. I don't know if you're experiencing that, but I have. I've experienced that, you know? So you have to learn how to live with this, and you have to learn how to deal with this. So there's support groups out there. I talked about support groups before, but a support group is a good thing. I mean, I don't know where you're at, but in New York, we have the Kidney Club, and we also have the Trio Club. The Kidney Club, the Kidney Club is downstate hospital, and they meet every other month. So we come together so you can bring your family can come, kidney patients can come, transplant patients can come. And each time they come, they have a different topic. So one time I had to speak there and I talked about living and thriving on while on dialysis, because you don't have to just be home or take in the illness or anything. You could do other things, but sometimes you got to hear it from somebody that deals with it like you deal with it. So I'm talking to you from like a patient to a patient, or from a person dealing with an illness to another person dealing with the illness. So the Kidney Club serves food, and it's about maybe 2 hours long, from 2 to 4. And you meet people, you what do you call that, you interact with different ones, you get cards, you meet other patients, and it gives you like a strength to learn to know that you're not in this alone, that you're not by yourself. So, and you need to know that you're not by yourself in this journey. Not just that, now with the Trio Club is in Manhattan and they meet every month. I had one of the guests on there to talk about that. I had Meg and Sarah come and talk about that. And they ran down basically every list every month that they would have meetings. And their meetings, they also serve food. I think they do the food thing just to get us in there. That's what it's all about. They do the food thing just to get us in there. So I'm not trying to just, just to do something to eat, but you got to do what gets people there. So if it's education, if it's information, you got to do those kind of things. And this is what you do to get it. All right. So the Trio Club is another thing. And I have, let me see. I mean, that same thing, that same downstate hospital also have a transplant brochure. I think every program have brochures on everything, so you'll get to know what it is, and they have the business cards as well. This one is called Sydney. Sydney is for Center for Independent Disabilities of New York. And in this brochure, they have it in every language. They have it in English, they have it in Spanish, they have it in, you name it, Asian, Chinese, Portugal, all kind of things. And what it is they fight for your rights for the things that you might need. Say you need a transportation and you didn't get this transportation, or they didn't come to you, or you couldn't get your treatment. And they make sure that they would talk to the people and see why you didn't get it, or why they didn't improve your social security, why they didn't improve for your transportation, or your insurance. They help you fill out a lot of papers that you might not understand the lingo of the application. So this is a great program. I bother them all the time. I bother many programs, trust me. I mean, some of them I wrote down on a list, and some of them I have the pamphlets for. But this is a very great program right here. So you would love it. You would love this if you was in New York, but I'm sure they have some in other states and other countries. And sometimes they have the 1-800 number of these programs. So when you call, they can still help you even though you're not in the same state. So keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. Okay? I have loads and loads of information. You name it, I got it. I have ESRD is another program. IPRO or ESRD, end-stage renal disease. There's another program, and they have a lot of things for the patients too. They don't just give out awards, because I've gotten an award with them before, but they don't just give out awards, but they give out loads of information. You could be a PAC member if you want to be. I'm a PAC member. A patient advisory committee. You're on that kind of thing, so they'll know what to do with the patients. Because a lot of times, you have doctors and stuff, they know their craft. I'm not saying they don't, but sometimes patients just understand patients, and sometimes your body deal with medication in a whole different type of way that you understand. I remember telling the doctor one time, I know you got a degree, I got a degree too. I also got a degree in my body. I've been dealing with Lisa Baxter for 56 years. I know what's going on with her. I know how she feel. I know everything about Lisa Baxter. So let's work together and not against each other. You always need your team. So I believe in teams as well. Okay. Believe it or not, this is my brochure for Blessed Kidney Connections. And the reason why I have a company and a Blessed Kidney Connections is because I found out a lot of the patients don't have referrals for stuff. So if they came to me or called me or talked to me, I would say, if they said, Lisa, I need childcare, then I would get them childcare. Maybe they need a daycare. Maybe they need a Head Start program. Maybe they need a educated babysitter or something. So if they needed that so they could work, or while they had dialysis, that's what I would give them. If they didn't know English, they speak in a lot of language, blah, 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 I would refer them to an ESL program. A lot of the colleges out here have fantastic ESL programs. Even the library have ESL programs too, and they're free. because this can be costly when you don't know the language. You move into a country or a state or a place and you don't know the language. It's good to know it so you'll know that you're not being taken advantage of. You'll know it because it'll help you along the way, especially if your children can speak it and you can't, or whichever way it goes, vice versa. So you need to invest in these type of things if this is what you want, because resources, you need it when you sick. Sometimes you don't have anybody to deal with or go to, so you're gonna have to take every resource. So any resource I throw up there or put up there, take the number down, the website, find out what it is, inbox me, whatever you got to do, call me, text me or something, and I will refer you. I've referred people in other states. I don't live in California. Somebody needed help in California. I found out the places in California, got the numbers and the website, and gave it to the person. You know, we all got to care. We all in this together. So not only that, maybe they want a job. Maybe they want an apartment. Maybe they want to go back to college. Did you know that there are college grants for people on dialysis? It covers not only the dialysis patient, but it covers their children, and it even covers their grandchildren. Now, the National Kidney Foundation has this kind of thing. You could they got this kind of thing that you can go on a link. You could write like a little paragraph or something, because you know they're gonna make you work for the money. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, they're gonna make you work for the money. I mean, I think I wrote 350 words. Much as I talk, I think I couldn't hardly come up with 350 words, but I believe in you, so you can do this. So you could get that to help you, because maybe you can't pay for private school or college or something like that. So this is what you got to try to do. All right. So my brochure would tell you also the good things that people would say about the program and the things that they needed done, because I also facilitate workshops. I go to different colleges. I go to different public schools. I go to nursing homes. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to Brookdale Hospital, and I have to give a big presentation there tomorrow. So instead of sleeping late like I wanted to, because I get up early every day, I'm going there to give them all I can about kidney awareness, because it affects the young as well as the old. And these people are seasoned. So I'm going there to show them some love. I'm going to break it all the way down to them about the kidneys. You know, the sister got the 411. So I'm going to give them everything that I've learned from school, college, and even what I've learned from you. And this beautiful urban network, whatever I learned, I'm taking it over there to that hospital, and I'm going to give it out to them. So you can be productive too. I don't have to be the only one productive, and none of the hosts on this network have to be the only ones. We all got a stake in this thing. All right. So you can do so many things. I mean, I had this brochure made up because people ask you a lot of questions. So I have my picture on it. I have my biography on it, so they know where I went to college at. They'll know how many years I've been a social worker, for 23 long years. Been a social worker, and I enjoy helping people. I love helping people because it's not easy out here. It's not easy out here. And if I learned something, I share it. I pay it forward. And sometimes that's what you have to do. Let me see. We did this one. I'm grabbing stuff left and right because I got so many resources. I mean, I got resources. Some of them I had glued up here on the wall. I had them all over the place. And this is what you got to do sometimes. So what I did is I got one to tell you how to take care of your fistula. You need that too. So I put this up on the wall when I still have my fistula, but I don't need it because I have a transplant. But this is what you do. These are steps of what you do, how you wash it, how you clean it, how you take care of it. And I know Mr. Steve Belcher did some things on that as well. I know he already did, but I'm giving you a recap. How about that? A recap. And even how to keep your hands clean when you have a fistula. I mean, when you have a graft. I had one in my chest here. I had it here, and I had it here. I don't know if you can see the spots, not trying to be fresh, but I still have the two spots right here. I had it here in my groin. So I don't know if you heard me screaming at your house, but honey, a sister was screaming loud, very painful when they put those long rods in there to give me dialysis. And when you get it there, you have to stay in the hospital for a couple of, you got to stay in the hospital with that. You couldn't go home having it in the groin area. Even though it like hung out from that part, you still had to like lay flat, lay in the hospital bed straight. So I know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I do. I know what I'm talking about. Being on dialysis 12 years. I don't know. I was playing around when I showed you my fistula. It's not flattened yet, but it's still pumping, bumping, and working. I took good care of it when I was on dialysis. And even though I'm not, I still take good care of it. I keep it clean. I wash it. I try not to carry nothing heavy in it or anything. So you got to take care of your whole body when you're on dialysis and even when you get a transplant. And even if you're not on dialysis yet, and maybe you got a diagnosis that said you might be on dialysis or you might be going on, you know, do all you can do. Get your family involved. Pray. Trust God. Go through it. I'm telling you, I wasn't expecting for 6 of my siblings to be on dialysis. I wasn't even expecting for 2 of my aunts, my uncle, and my mother-in-law to be on dialysis. But I saw all of these people and I had to become an advocate. I didn't know I would be an advocate for that. I didn't know the center would make me an advocate. I didn't know I'd become an area rep. You can do these things too. I mean, it's not just only me. You got Dawn Edwards, she's having the thing on the 5th that I'm going to, and that Mr. Steve is going to, and that Tamika is going to. And more patients need to go and come, because that's going to be a great event. I mean, you get a chance to showcase your talent. You get a chance to meet other people just like you. You don't have to worry about that. You notice when people on drugs and they have those meetings to people that's just like them so they feel comfortable. Well, you would feel comfortable around us. You'll see us in a different light. You're not on a machine talking to us. You're not smelling none of the fumes or seeing none of the blood coming out. You actually having food and fun. That's right. What is it? 395 Lennox? I better be saying it right. I'm sure. 395 Lennox Road in Brooklyn, at the hospital, at Downstate Hospital on the 5th. I believe it's from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Stay as long as you want. If you can't stay the whole time, come out and stay some. But you need to register so she can order the food, so she'll know how many people come. Come on out and have a good time. Let's mingle together. Let's get to know each other. Let's have fun. Show your talent. I don't care what kind of talent you got. Maybe you know poetry. Maybe you know a song. Maybe you can dance. I don't know. But whatever it is, come on and enjoy. Bring your family. They don't have to be a dialysis patient. We believe in having families. I invited my sister. She's a dialysis patient. I got a lot of them in the family. But even if she wasn't, I would still invite her. I invited other family members, but I didn't get any answer to that back yet. But you could do the same thing if you're in New York, if you're visiting, or if you're coming, or if you're thinking about coming. Or you might be a person that have your own town and want to start something like this. You can start something like this. You can start some big event, some great event, showcasing the talent of the dialysis patients. You can do that. You can start a support group. If you don't have a support group already, you could be the one. You are destined to do this thing. You are called to do this thing. I didn't know I was called to do it, but I am. So I have to answer the call. So I'm answering the call. I'm answering the call by doing the Lisa Baxter Show. I'm answering the call by the 5 books I've written. I've written a book called Through the Eyes of a Dialysis Patient. That book goes meticulously, really what a dialysis patient go through. Everything I saw through my eyes from the time they put the mask on me and gave me the graft and the fistula and put the thing in my chest together at once. The doctor said your body had been through a lot and you still pushing, you go on. That's probably why you didn't seem that very sick. But I had some symptoms. Yes, I've had the metallic taste in the mouth. I've had the leg cramps and what have you. I had the look. and what have you. But these are the things that you get to know and learn. I mean, sometimes you might get tired of talking about this sickness or this illness, and sometimes you might need to go out in fun and not talk about it for a day or so. But you got to be educated enough to live this thing, to deal with this thing, to make yourself get through this thing. Maybe you're a mother or maybe you're a father and it's your child that's going through this. You have to get this education and pull it in. You know, when I had to take care of my husband, I was a caregiver for him and my parents. And you have to sometimes, I couldn't show the crying to them. I couldn't break down in front of them. I wanted to. I looked like I was shaking enough to, but I went in the bathroom and cried and came back. I went and prayed and got some strength. And then I had to wash my husband. I had to make him laugh, make jokes, flirt with him. Sometimes you have to go all the way out there for that person that you love, that you have to take care of. You're the caregiver. But remember, the caregiver needs sleep. The caregiver need rest, and the caregiver need a break. When your family or somebody want to help you with the person that you're taking care of, let them. Because let me tell you, you're going to need it, and you might crack up or crack down or fall apart. And we don't want that for you. We want you to be able to do this, make this a doable job for you, to have your support systems in place. Okay? We want you to have them in place. So, get in contact with the programs you need to get in contact with. Make them a part of your life. Put them in your cell phone. Put them in your cell phone. Let me tell you, I have something here called, I call this my great resources. And I have something called Dream Street. And Dream Street is, if you couldn't afford to pay your rent and you had a disability, if you couldn't afford to pay your rent and you was elderly, Dream Street supposed to give a certain percentage to your rent. It's not Section 8, because God knows I was trying to get Section 8 and they ain't never gave it to me. But anywho, you get these things. Dream Street is one of the things. Help Hope Live is something that help you to fundraise to pay your bills. Who knew about that? So I want you to know, Help Hope Live help you to do these things. United Way will pay your light or gas bill if you had an issue. They don't mind helping you. Catholic Charities will pay part of your rent. Now, they won't pay my rent because I work for them. I don't know what that's about, because we help 1,000 families, but they know my situation and they haven't helped me. They didn't help the widow, but that's all right. God got me and he got this. But I'm out here for you now. So, I mean, you got legal hand, legal societies, stuff like that will help you legally. Suppose you having a legal problem with the dialysis center, God forbid, or any kind, with your landlord, or I don't know, with your job, or with anything, maybe the child care place, anything. There are places out here will help you for free. Take advantage of it. Stop spending all your money if you don't have to. Save it. Use it for something else. Okay, you got improved court. You got so many things. I have a medical coalition up here. If you didn't have a green card, they'll give you a whole physical and stuff for free. I was working with them and volunteering with them, but I do so many things. I couldn't handle keeping up with that. But I'm just showing you, because I typed this thing out, and I'm not the greatest typist, but it had like 25 different things, because when people sometimes come to you, they don't want to tell you their business. They're not comfortable. So I'll just hand them a paper, and one of these things going to solve one of their problems. That's what I believe. That's what I pray. And if it didn't, and they said, I need this, I'll find out what that foundation association is, call them up, and I will add them to the list. I added some of everything to the list. I got heart association in here, lung association in here. I don't know what might be wrong with you, so I have to try some of everything. Diabetes foundation in here. I had to put all of that in here. Vested is that help people to pay some rent, some bills, and something to do. They give you a job. People give you a job when you have a disability too, whether it be part-time or full-time. Maybe you're a certain age. A certain age also can get employment. So it's not too late for you. That's right. You can get a job too. I'm 56. I'm still working. I know some people in their 60s, 70s that's working. If you want to do that, now if you want to retire or stay home, ain't nothing wrong with that. I ain't mad at you. All right. So just have a little bit of everything in it. I wanted you to know that I'm out here for you. We all are out here for you. There's state programs, there's city programs, there are programs all over the world. You'd be surprised that'll fly you places that to help you with stuff, help you fundraise, all kind of stuff to give you money. You know, Improve Court is down here. Um, Bury Free Live is if you didn't have a place to live, they'll give you a place to live. Now, sometimes when you're sick, you can't be in a shelter. I knew some dialysis patients that lived in a shelter. Some shelters aren't clean. I worked in like 5 of them myself, you know. So you got to be careful with your sickness, and sometimes you don't have a choice. But this place is supposed to be cleaner for somebody that have to deal with illness or sickness or an emergency. Sometimes stuff happen, and it just happened within the day or a couple of seconds or hours. So you need that help. You need that resources. Now, say, Lisa, I don't need none of your stuff, or I don't want none of this. Then make your own resource list. You can do it. Maybe you live somewhere else. Find out all the different places that help you in different ways. You can call a place and say, what do you offer? They'll tell you what they offer. Write it down. Because if you don't use it or your family don't need it, maybe somebody in the dialysis center you sitting next to need this. Maybe somebody that's on the way to get a transplant, got a transplant, can't pay for that medicine. They might need this. So you got to go that extra mile because we all in this together. We are all we have. So let's work this thing. Let's work this thing. Okay? So there are resources all around. It was so many. Look, I made a bunch of them because I need it even for tomorrow when I go out and speak because I don't know what they may ask me. I have my business cards. I have magnets to help you about your medicine and your prescriptions. You could keep it on the refrigerator if you forget, because sometimes we forget. We don't know. So we have to sometimes remember or have our case. I know with with transplant, they have all of our medicine lined up, morning, noon, and night kind of thing. And you have to like know it, have it. Sometimes it's portable and you can take it out with you. It's all the way over there, so I didn't go get it. I didn't know I was going to mention it, but I just wanted you to know. I like I said, I was on dialysis 12 years, and my father had polycystic kidney disease, and that's not an easy disease to have. I wasn't really ill or sick, but one time my kidneys started to bleed, and the doctor said, "Well, I couldn't give you no medicine. You would have to lay down and relax." I guess because I'm always running and doing, so he got me to lay down, and the bleeding stopped. Something simple as that. I didn't need any medicine. I needed to relax, and I needed to calm down. So, and that's what I did. I relaxed and I calmed down. I don't know if somebody's out there that have more than one family member on dialysis. I had to deal with a lot of my family on dialysis, but what I loved about that, we all helped each other. We all would share our stories or what was going on with us. My first dialysis experience was I when I had it, the nurse wasn't paying any mind to me. I was laying in the bed, I'll never forget it, and her back was to me and she was on the phone yakking and talking. Well, honey, I thought I saw Jesus. That's how bad the pain went through my whole body. Everything cramped at once and my body went up in the air like this, and she didn't notice it, but when she turned around and saw, she said, "Oh my God." She was sorry. She better be glad I wasn't myself to sue anybody or sue anything, because that's how I am. I will give you a chance. I won't want you to lose your job, but you're not going to kill me either. So we got to get that straight. But I was so racked with pain, and I said, "Oh my God, if I have to go through this, I wouldn't want to be here for this all the time." But that was just a mistake she made by pulling too much off and doing too many things to me. So she didn't pay any attention to me. So, she finally did what she had to do and it stopped. But when I came down in my room, my sister Yolanda was there. And my sister was Landa was there, and she said, kept telling me, and I was talking to her about this the other day. She kept saying, "Lisa, it's going to be all right." All I could do was cry. All I could do was cry because that was my first dialysis experience, and I just wasn't happy with it at all, with a person that's not paying no attention to me or not caring about me or being there for me. So that was rough. You know what I mean? That was rough. And even watching siblings go on dialysis, I went with my brother Mark to his first treatment, and it was his birthday, and he didn't want to be on dialysis either. And I was so paranoid that I wouldn't sit down the whole time. I stood up because I figured if I sat in one of them chairs, I might be in there one day. That was crazy, but God help me, I was in there one day. But so I went with him through his treatment. When my sister D Simone had to deal with dialysis, I was in church and she didn't want to go. And my brother Bumper came and got me, and he said we both took her to the hospital and stayed until she got her treatment, you know. And when my sister Yolanda didn't want to do dialysis either, her husband had called us and told us, and we were on our way to a wedding, me and D Simone, and we stopped everything and went over to the house and talked to her doctor, and went with her to the hospital and everything. That's what people do. That's what families do. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you have to hold a person's hand. You got to cry with them. You got to pray with them. You got to get in the crunches. Well, I forgot what they call that, the trenches with them. So this is like an army, and we all in this thing together, and we all fighting. So get your tools and get your weapons, get yourself together, and be there for your family and friends, because we need each other. Don't you ever forget it. Nobody is never good by themselves or all alone. All right. So I back them up if you can back them up. Be there for them if you could be there for them. Because it's not an easy journey or easy experience. That's why I go to the polycystic kidney walks. That's why I go to the national kidney walks, and I go to the get your rear in gear walks, because my husband died of colon cancer, and I couldn't believe that how things went. But I didn't know they had a walk, I'm really trying to say. And so I started supporting that. And when I can't go, or I go every year, I've been going for a long time, but I do give money or raise money, or I'll do the best I can by my support, licking the envelope, whatever you got to do to get into this thing. This is what you do. And this is what you got to do. These things are really doable. You sometimes say, "Oh, Lisa, you're doing a good job. You're wonderful." Thank you. But you could do a wonderful job too. Angela Davis got this program called For Kidney's Sakes, and she took all of us to the movies, and we had a blast. She bought the popcorn and everything. That's a warrior too. She has this gala thing and give out awards. I got an award from her too. And all of them look like they're giving out galas, awards, and help and information to just brighten up your day. That's why they give this big party where you get a chance to get dressed up, look good, or whatever you want to do. Not saying you don't, but look good, and meet up with each other without being sick, without a 15 gauge needle in your arm, or somebody looking in your face, or from you passing out. You're having fun. So get some resources, join some stuff. If there is nothing, then you start it. That's all I'm going to tell you. If there's nothing, then you start it, because I believe that you can start it. Some things, a lot of things I did out of my pocket, and a lot of things I had to pay for myself. So, and I'm not saying I'm rich or have any money. I'm a widow. I won't hardly have enough for the rent, but God made a way, and He always do, always does, and always will. So you can believe that same thing for you. Start small. It don't have to be nothing big and gigantic. Start with a few people. You can do it at the dialysis center. Do it in somewhere local, or do somewhere anywhere that you pick to do it. Maybe in your church, maybe in a school, maybe in a room, maybe in your apartment or your house, on the porch. I don't know, but anywhere you want to do it, you can do it. And I thank you for this time. I thank you for this space. I thank you for listening. I thank you for hearing part of my story. And I thank you for tuning in. I hope I will see you next week. And I have an excellent guest. Every guest is excellent. And so tune in, share it, tell somebody about it. And I want to say, keep up the good work. Thank you for showing love. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate you. A million blessings, Lisa Baxter. Peace.